Hey guys, welcome to another comment help video. In today's session, we're going to have a look at club items or club registration products, as you may know it as. So, as I said, club items refer to the registration items or the services that your club makes available for members to register to. Now, items can be purchased either via the My Comet console, so the person doing it themselves, or you may add them manually from the Comet side of things. So to find out where your club items are, once logged in, you want to select clubs from the left-hand pane here, then select club items. Here you'll be presented with a list of all the items that your club has created. You can filter them by type, you can filter them by name, or you can filter them by status. By selecting open details, you can then go in and view more information about that specific club item. Now, if this is the first item your club has created, this page here is going to be a little bit blank. So, without further ado, let's go and create a new club item so you can have a look what the process looks like. So again, from the left-hand pane side here, select New Club Item. Now, the first thing you do when creating a new club item is selecting the type. So when you select the type from the drop-down box, you will have a whole raft of options available to you. Depending on what item type you select, will indicate the type of registration that the person will be registered to for your club. Let's start with the easiest ones. So coach football and coach futsal, pretty self-explanatory. By selecting either one of these ones here, if a person registers to your club with this item type, they'll be credited as a coach with the discipline of football or the discipline as futsal to your club. From first kicks down to senior football, these refer to football type registrations. So anyone that selects these registrations will be registered as a player to your club. Now, if it's first kicks, those that can select it need to be aged 3 and 7. Those that are for fun football, those that are aged 6 to 9 can select this one. For mini football, those aged 8 to 13. For youth football, those aged 12 to 19. And senior football for those aged 14 up. So as you can see, you've got a bit of leeway in regards to the age restrictions of item selection. With junior futsal, now these refer to, again, a play type registration, but this time for the discipline of futsal. Those that can select junior futsal must be aged 4 to 13. Youth futsal are those aged 12 to 19, and senior futsal age 14 up. Now, event/other and merchandise type registration types, these ones here do not create a play type registration. They are in fact the other type of registration. So these ones here, such as an event/other, which may be such a holiday program, for example, or merchandise such as socks or kit. So for this example, let's create a senior football one. So as you can see, by selecting the type, the name becomes automatically populated, and so does description. Now don't worry, you can change these yourselves. So let's change this one here and call it test item. And let's call this one here test description. So in here, it's useful to put in as much information about the item name so that users that are going into My Comet can see exactly what you're looking to do. So in fact, let's name it a bit more appropriately and call senior football subs. And in the description here, you may input information such as bank account details if you're not using online payments, or any other information that person may need to know when selecting this item. Now in the payment model, you will select the relevant payment model for this item. If it is payable, this means that a person must make payment for this item before they can complete registration. If it's pay later, this means this person can either make payment online or they can choose to select pay later and make payment later on. And if it's free, this means that the item is was free without charge. So let's go payable as an example. So upon selecting either payable or pay later, you will have two additional options here. So the payment account, so this refers to your Paymark online account. If you do not have this yet and you are intending on getting this, in the meantime, we would suggest just add in 5 zeros. Now, if you're not going to be using online payments at all, we definitely suggest that you use pay later as the option. That way there, your members can still select pay later and then make payment at a later point via bank transfer. So for now, let's pretend that we do have online payments set up. We're going to set up our account, then we'll select verify. Next, we want to select the fee model, being inclusive or user pays. So now what this refers to the transaction fee that your members will either take on board themselves or you as an organization will absorb. So if it's inclusive and the item costs, say, $100, what this will mean is that paying members will pay only $100. And then you as a club will then absorb those fees there. If you then decide to use user pays and the item is again $100, the paying member will pay $102.50. So pick the relevant pay model that suits your club. And once done, save. So now we've completed and created the basic elements of our item. Next thing, we can add an image or item if you want to, particularly useful if you have something like merchandise, so socks, kit, and so on, by selecting Documents, and then select Upload File to select the image from your computer. Towards the bottom, you will notice 3 tabs available to you. We're going to go through each one in a bit more detail, starting with the pricing one. As the name suggests, by selecting pricing, you are adding a price for the item. So let's go ahead and add one. Description, let's call this item price. Next, you want to select when it's valid from and when it's valid until. So let's say to the end of there, and it is $100. And once done, select Save. Now you notice that here, you can actually still add another price if you want to. So this is particularly useful if your club utilizes pricing structures such as early bird and late registration. If you are going to add multiple prices to your items, then the valid until box from the previous pricing must be filled and must start before the second price begins. So for example, if we were to add another price in here, it would have to start after the 30th of April. In the Purchases tab, here you will see all people that have selected this item, either via themselves, via My Comet, or it's been added manually by you as a club. You also have a couple of options here available to you in this page. Create an unpaid invoice allows you to create and add this item to a person's record with the status as being unpaid. So as you see in the customer field, you want to enter in the name of the person, enter the name of the date, the online payment account if applicable, the payment type, and then any notes against it. You can adjust the prices of it if you need to, and then select Save. With the Create Paid Invoice, again exactly the same, except this time the status of this is going to be paid. And then Create Invoice without payment free. Now with this one here, all you're saying is adding a paid item to a person. However, you're indicating that normally this item would have a cost of, say, $100, but this person, for whatever reason, say, for example, hardship, is receiving it for free. So again, this option here, Create Invoice without payment free, is adding an item which would normally have a cost associated to it, but this person, for whatever reason, is receiving it for free. That's when you would use this third option here. We'll get back to what this button here survey does in just a second. And finally, the last box here is called Custom Attributes. So Custom Attributes refers to custom fields. So this means that if there's any additional information that members need to know about, so complete when registering, you can put this here. So this could be, can you coach, as an example. You can put in some additional text to help the person filling it out. In the required text here, if this is ticked, it means that the person cannot complete registration without first completing this information. Then next, you want to select the field type. So one line of text refers to a row that is very similar to this one here. It's intended for short answers. If it's multiple lines, then the box will appear such as this, intended for longer answers. If it's a date, it means the person must input a date type as an answer, such as the 1st of the 1st, 2019. Number, the person must input a number. Checkbox is exactly like this. They must tick or untick. Drop-down box allows them to give more options. So as you can see, as soon as you select drop-down box, the drop-down options box here becomes available. Now, for you to refer back to our question here as being, can you coach? If you wanted to put yes or no as options, we would write like this: yes, comma, no. Now for every answer after a comma is a new option. So if we were to do it like this, Yes, no is one answer. But add in the column here, yes and no are now the answers. And then finally, file. File allows a person to upload a file against their registration. Once you've made your custom attribute or custom field, you'll then select Save. And you can see your custom field there. If you have more than one, you can use these arrow buttons here, up and down, to move the order in which they will appear on my comment. At any point, you can edit one by selecting the pencil icon, or delete the custom attribute by selecting the bin icon. Now, if you go back to our Purchases tab, this survey button here, what this will show you is everyone that's registered for this item and all the answers they've had for the custom attributes. Cool. And in a nutshell, team, that is everything to do with club items.